Okay, this is a video response to Tannhouse's video entitled Last Thoughts About Shockawenow Fiasco Part 2. What you're talking about there is fundamentalism. When fundamentalism strikes, religion, full stop, whether it's the text of a religion, the original beliefs of a religion, the practices, the spiritual techniques of prayer and meditation, and the benefits that those are meant to have upon the human mind, body, and soul, cease to take any effect. The individual is driven by hatred of another, and the individual becomes obsessed in protecting his or her team. It's much more like a football match when you have a couple of teams, one is fighting the other, and that is what the world appears to be like in the mind of the fundamentalists, which is a complete breach against any original spirituality that any religion had. But that tendency towards fundamentalism is present in all religions, and that's bad. And that's essentially the thing which has got to be somehow cut out and destroyed, because these people's, their minds, they're simplified to the point of not taking into account any of the writings of their own faith, any of the history, any of the reasons for being. Essentially, they're mad people who've got a title. And essentially, that's all. They give themselves a title or a label or a name, and that's just the name of their team. And because of that, they're the ones which affect all religions negatively. But it's somehow beneficial for religions to have some characters in them who will actively promote the label or the title or the icon of the religion, because it keeps people in check, keeps people in line, it stops people from asking questions or criticizing too much. It's aggressive mind control, and that's wrong. It's peculiar that some of the higher up people in religious organizations say that they are fundamentalists, therefore muddling the meaning of the word fundamentalism from what I would understand as fundamentalism being a form of extremism that probably even goes against the politics or the religion in question. And saying that these higher people in the church or in whatever faith are in fact going back to the original fundamentals of their faith. But that's just muddling the definition of what fundamentalism really is. I would say a person can choose to be, or can try and become, an original Christian, an original Muslim, an original Jew or pagan or whatever. And I feel that that is different to fundamentalism, which has become synonymous in most common day language with extremism. And these are the ones who are responsible for brainwashing, cult techniques, aggressive behavior, sectarian violence, sectarian talking. And they muddle the names of every, they destroy the names of every religion. It's a form of mental illness, I suppose. And it's very easy to catch. And for some of those who don't have the capacity to change, it can be very difficult to get rid of. For those who have the capacity to change, what it takes is a bit more clarity to get there. I mean, I'd have thought it would be the responsibility of people high up in religions to take control and state some conduct is right and some conduct is wrong. But they don't seem to attack these things. You very rarely hear people who are high up in any particular faith talking against these other levels. I mean, the only time when that's been done, as far as I know, is in the case of Karl Marx, who was once approached by a young guy who had a complete misinterpretation of Marxism. And Karl Marx said to this guy, "Do you really think that that tripe is Marxism?" And this young guy says, "Yes, it is." And Karl Marx says, "Then I am not a Marxist." You don't have any Christians or Islamic people or Jewish people or pagan people saying that all that often. So again, that's someone else who's got a lot of respect from me for even stating that he was not of the same title that this fanatic, this extremist said, was talking about. There should be many more people like him in that respect.